Guys, this is the 5 main points. We are talking about Chapter 8, Title 9. So, the first one is the Civil Rights Act of 1964 forced schools and employers to honor the civil rights of minority students. From that, the rights of women were included in Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972. And the quote I got that from would be simply stated, Title IX prohibits programs that receive federal funding from excluding people from participating in the programs or denying people access to the benefits that the program might provide. The focus of Title IX is to prohibit discrimination against the underrepresented sex, which historically has been women. And that is on page 171. Um, sorry, getting over a little cold. My next one would be implementation of Title IX slow and not serious. Regulations and enforced turned over to what is now the Office of Civil Rights in the Department of Education to figure out what to do. And I got this from the quote on page 172. They began by repeating Title IX's prohibition of discrimination, and more specifically, within any high school, intercollegiate club, or intramural athletic program. The regulations mandated that high school and university athletic programs provide equal opportunity for members of both sexes within several program areas, including provision of equipment and supplies, scheduling of games and practices, provision of locker rooms, and provision of practice/competitive facilities. And the regulations also call for equivalency in the administration of financial assistance. In 1979, the government attempted to provide further clarification with its policy interpretation. And like I said, that quote, and I know it's rather long, is on page 172. Okay, and then next we have, give me 1 second here. Sorry, my computer is freezing right now. Okay, the back. Okay, so this one is, this is the explanation for the beginning and first few years of implementation of Title IX and the problems it being the government had with making things work. This lessened the likelihood that there would be court cases, and they are rare. The policy interpretations made it easier to understand the law, and they laid out 3-part tests to see if interest and abilities were being equally provided for the provision of the equal athletic opportunities. And I'm getting that from a quote on page 182. Sports administrators often struggle to determine what activities can count as a sport in their efforts to comply with Title IX. The federal government has provided guidance on this question, but the definition of sport for Title IX proposes to for Title IX purposes continues to evolve. And like I said, that was on page 182. Okay. And then lastly here, we have one regarding sexual harassment. Still chapter 8, and it's talking about, in 1992, sexual harassment by coaches barred until Title IX Franklin vs. Gwinnett County Public Schools, 1992. Since the harassment is a form of discrimination, it is also barred. Because of this case, all victims of sexual harassment or other intentionally discriminatory conduct under Title IX can sue for monetary damages. A school can also be liable if the overall conduct reaches the level of Franklin and is considered a hostile environment, sexual harassment, which is harassment that interferes with the athlete's ability to perform. And I got that quote from factors used to determine whether an environment is hostile include the degree to which the conduct affects one or more students. This type, frequency, and duration of the conduct, the identity of and relationship between parties, the number of people involved, the age and sex of the alleged harasser, the size of the school or program, the location and context of the incident, other incidents at the school, and incidents of gender-based non-sexual harassment. Schools have the chance to respond to harassment and fire or discipline a coach. But if they do not take immediate steps to remedy the problem, they will be liable under Title IX. And once again, I got that from page 187, also partially on 188. And those were my points, guys. Thanks, and I will see you next week.